way more too, right?
And make you
Well,
This is part 2.
make you into a slob.
Yeah, that's very, very nice. But in order to, you know, in New York you do the same thing. Well, today, of course, it's a little more broader. A great many people don't wear ties. I like a tie. I got a closet full of ties. I want to wear them.
Do you know there used to be a time, I know, when I was living in Manhattan, I would never go downtown without a suit. All of a sudden, I came out here, suit and tie seemed so uncomfortable, so wrong. Even when I went back east. Now, they were starting to get as sloppy as we were here. Right?
Sloppy, that's right.
But that's
Well,
when
you know, you can go without a tie and not be sloppy, but you get sloppy when you do things like that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Trouble on the set here.
Zero in on that. Where's the
Costume, makeup.
That's all we allowed the Gloria to feed me out here. Not supposed to be eating and acting.
Well, that's the problem.
I
you
hate
know.
it when I spill things.
Actors should never eat anyway. Artists should be starving, hungry.
Starving.
I mean,
Wretched.
You know, they asked Richard Pryor that once. They said, you know, you're really not as funny as you used to be. He says, I was poorer then. He says, funny's not for rich people.
Well, he's got a point, you know.
Rich people, you know, poor people got all those things to bitch about. They come up with New York, New Year lines. Prices, you have everybody. The world is their straight man in New York. That's what keeps them up. They lash each other.
In New York City, there's so many junkies and musicians, and there's so many young hopefuls, right? Actors go there all the time, but they're
That's a
let to
cruel
come here
word.
too.
That's a cruel word, Jokey. You know
You
what
say in
I'm
New York City there's so many junkies and musicians. They sort of go hand in hand. But
Of course, now junkie, you could be a movie junkie, you could be a
Real
junk
estate
food
junkie.
junkie, you have cooking show junkie.
it all depends on how you differentiate junkie.
Yeah, just
There are all
anybody's
types of
hooked on
junkies.
something, you know.
Some of those Armenian women, they have junk in the trunk.
Oh, oh.
You know what's fascinating? They found out that the civil rights, what's that organization in charge of civil rights?
NAACP, yes.
They claim the whole war on drugs, the whole thing is an attempt to emasculate Negro race. More black people have gone to prison.
Yeah? You mean they just figured that out?
One out of every no, but they made a proclamation. 1 out of every 3 people expects to be doing time in jail. 1 out of every 3 black guys. Now think about how terrible that is.
Yeah,
and
well,
also
they're
they
the
don't have
last
the
to find
good
out.
lawyers. They don't have the good lawyers too, right?
What,
Yes, right.
NAACP?
No, the blacks. Young black kid. They
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have the
yeah.
money for a
But
lawyer.
now-
White kid.
now-
Well,
lawyer.
he's a water lawyer.
Yeah, he's the well, you're
And, you know,
public
there
defender,
are
and
lots of
they're
lawyers.
usually very good.
coming out of school were damn sight better than those that
And
have
then
had
the
a
old
practice,
pockets.
those that had a long-term practice.
Exactly.
Why? Because they're learning a modern way of dispensing law.
He has such an organized way of talking.
That's right, organized. Yeah.
He presents his opinion and then he says, why?
Yeah.
And he because no, your question.
Ah, you've
and then
noticed.
He explains it.
Yeah.
He sets forth the premise, and it's great. It's a great way of
We'll have to call him Dr. Ned Rose.
great businessman.
Yeah, you see, it's a presentation.
Yeah, really good thinking.
Or dissertation.
A couple $1 million stashed away someplace.
You do.
You do? Where is it? Let's find it.
I have a.
I've been looking for it.
What do you?
It's in your sock drawer.
Stashed away.
Well, you know,
That's the problem.
I've often said that to myself. Would I live any differently if I had 10 million bucks and $50 in the bank?
Maybe.
Would I live any different? No.
All you need is enough to live the way you want to live, and then you're rich.
Right.
But people don't equate it like that. They just can't seem to get to a level of gratification when there's so much out there. See, that's what New York is based upon. You can't buy everything in that city. So as much as you buy, there's so much more that makes look what you buy insignificant.
Yeah. Remember Dan Duryea? The actor?
The Virginian.
He was in a movie called Scarlet Street. He had a couple lines I always remember. He said, "It's either addition or subtraction, and the rest is conversation."
It's a very good
Not bad.
statement. Yeah, very good statement.
We are into conversation right now, right?
Conversation is great.
This guy talks. He can talk and talk and talk, right? He loves to talk.
I noticed that. I love it.
Yeah.
I've been talking all my life.
Well,
I've been talking so much that I never bothered to get a job. I ended up talking was my job, and I didn't even know it. I figured everything was coming to me from the moon.
The moon.
This guy, these are funny things. It's wonderful.
Did you get what you deserve?
No, not in the end.
Only God knows what you deserve.
I'd like to have a reconsideration of my situation.
tell me this. You're over 75.
Yes, 80. We're just 80.
Oh, you're over 75. 80 is over 75.
Yes.
I don't know about you.
I'm 71.
You're 71. Step to the other end of the class.
Yeah.
But I'm 100.
Oh boy.
Look in the camera and say that, Ned. I'm 100.
100, yeah.
Happy
Not 100%, but
Just 100 years old. Yeah, there you
You're in
go.
good shape.
Yes, I am in good shape.
Yes, you are.
You have a good disposition. I like your disposition.
Well, with this, my dispositions, I like people. It's as simple as all
that's the
that. I like
secret.
people.
That
You're
is
100. I go to the 99-cent store. One time I asked the clerk, I said, do you ever in the middle of the night dream of 99 cents? And she says, sometimes I'll say 99 and my husband will say 100. Do they have 99-cent stores in New York?
Is there any value
We
to
do.
that at all?
We do.
I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it.
He
I don't know where he gets his logic
he
from.
thinks that you're supposed to speak in a certain way.
No.
He's a very conventional thinker.
I'm trying to
Most of
fig-
the poets I know, what they do is this: they try to unlock their imagination.
Correct.
They don't try to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Don likes to count one, like television. You watch a television show. Here's the way the writing goes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. If anybody cannot understand a television show or movie, they're not that smart. So it's nice to have people who have flights of imagination.
You're being very snobbish.
No, that's not snobbish.
No, you are
You're
being
supposed to
very
unlock.
snobbish.
Being a creative person, you're
Television,
supposed to take
according to-
realms of
according to a-
imagination, right? You're not supposed to just be mundane.
No,
Open something new once in a while,
I
right?
do. You're the
Yeah.
one that's dealing in old
You don't
jokes.
have. I never tell. Unlike him, I never tell anybody how they should speak. Each one of us has a different way of speaking.
Oh,
And
definitely. We're
to be a real
individual.
creative person or a great director, the point is to get each person to speak the way he feels and thinks inside himself, not the way you want him to, the way he actually does. Correct? Otherwise, you're a conventional thinker.
Would mean nothing you said, but just means it's correct.
Yes, it is. It's totally
no-based.
correct because the way you one thing difference between you, I never try to criticize you. I always try to get you to speak the way you speak. You
Oh,
always
because I'm trying to
criticize
get you
me.
into a conversational
No,
show.
your
You know how
conversation
hard
is
it was
very
to-
conventional.
See, that's snob again.
No, it's not being
Poet's
snob.
the king. Poet's
You're not
the
being
king.
snob. You try to
Poet
unlock
says
the way
the
people
best thing.
speaks. You
And
know?
yet the poet sells 3 books.
Huh?
Whereas the moron writes a book and it sells to 12 million people. But the poet's the snob. The poet's
Yeah, the Sarah Palin
It's
book.
even a bad
the
word
6
to
people
snob.
read it. 6.
No.
Oh, it is a bit. It's a
No, it's
bad
not a
word.
bad
Being a
word.
snob
You think
is
it's a
terrible.
bad word? It's not a bad word.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Well, Obama's a snob because he wants
You know
kids
what-
to go to
you know what
college.
Clinton said one time, people should
He
not
used
be
that
sensitive to what people say. Somebody calls you a bad name, don't worry
Don't
about it.
worry.
Go on and do your work.
So why are you so
know?
worried about it?
Well, I'm just trying to say that each one of us has a way of speaking and thinking, correct?
But see, a public politician has a different way of addressing things. I can't blame him. I may not agree with him.
I like his attitude.
So when you speak about Bill Clinton, I like him.
I do too.
I like his wife more than I like him.
He's a very eloquent guy. He's bigger than the TV and movie stars.
Oh yeah,
He can-
I've been fortunate. I met him. I don't know whether. I see him. He lives near me. I meet him in the store. He's traveling with 6 bodyguards, and the minute you go over and talk to him, or he comes over to you,
Finished.
well, they want to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He comes to the club, the Friars Club. He's only one person, but he's got 6 bodyguards. They come to the dining room first. They look around, one at a time. Look around. Okay. He comes in. He He gets a table. He sits there alone.
Not for long. Not for
Well,
long. Everybody joins him.
You
Yeah.
sit at a table alone at a place like the Friars Club.
Yeah.
And you stand out like I had a great big thumb
So
here.
he ate his whole dinner by himself.
Oh, no,
Does he
no.
have a whole dinner?
Oh,
People are all over
good.
him.
So he ate by himself, or people joined
Many
him?
times he eats by himself. Yeah.
He likes
Well, you know,
McDonald's.
my feeling is
Used to,
he'd
yeah.
like to be alone for a while.
Bill Cosby.
I don't know about that.
Saw me, and like I was his long lost friend. I know him, but I don't know him. Put his arms around. Come on, you gotta have the dinner with me. All right.
Lonely.
Yeah, tell
I
you.
sat down with him. 2 minutes later, the most beautiful blonde girl said, "It was the beard. It was the beard." Clinton must have had a beard.
Oh, of
Had
course.
Somebody there that allowed there to be a third, fourth person.
Yeah, I think it was Dick Morris.
Oh, he's a
He was probably the beard.
easy guy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little story about Bill Clinton and him.
Oh, David.
Yeah, moi. Me. Bill Clinton.
Near the entrance to the dining room, the main dining room, where you go, there's a foyer. Before you get there, there's a stairway by the foyer going upstairs. There's an elevator. You go to the entrance, there's a maitre d', as a rule, there's a maitre d'. And he treats you very curtly. Not friendly, and very nice. That's Frank. His name is Frank. Frank was a waiter there one time. When the club first started, he was a waiter. He became the maitre d'. This Frank, he's a nice guy, but he has opinions of everybody. He said, Mr. Rose, I have a table for you. I said, well, I don't like that table. Well, there's only one table available.
Take it or leave it, man.
So he sets up another table. Simple as all that.
You know what they used to do at the Copa?
No, I don't remember.
Well, when I worked there was Pat, Johnny Mathis, Valentine's Day. So the piano and then the first row of seats were right by the piano. And I saw each one of the ringside people give $100 to the waiter for that table. Now more people came in. They moved the stage back and they put ringside tables in front of the ringside tables. And they got $100. And then another group came, they moved the piano further back. Oh, what? They did that so beautifully.
At the Copa they did that, but at the Friars they can't do that.
No, they
Does the
Why?
guy Frank?
I'll tell you why they can't do it at the Friars.
They're members.
No, member or non-member, can't be done because one of our rules, very specific rule in the club, you can't show money, you can't display money, and you shouldn't talk money. Simple as all that.
And if you got
that's all
money,
they
you
do
don't have
is
to
talk
talk
money.
about it.
No, they go upstairs. We have private.
You mentioned Frank, okay? In the 1967, 68 time, you walk in the Friars Club. Did Frank right there as you walk in on the left have that area right there? Do you remember that?
Frank Capitelli was his name.
You walk up the steps into the club. There's a lobby. On the right, there's a stairway going up. On the left, there's an elevator, which you'll take or don't take, depending on what floor you're going to. And you walk straight ahead, you walk right to the dining room.
Yeah.
But I mean, you stand at the threshold of the dining room.
What I'm saying is, like in 1967, when you walk into the dining room, did Frank have the area right to the left?
Frank?
Yeah, where they have the breakfast.
Oh, no, he's walking, but that's a different. When you walk into the dining room, if Frank was standing there, you'd wait for him.
He's a maitre d' now.
He's the
Yeah.
Or was,
I mean,
yeah.
when he was a waiter years ago, did he have the area right to the left?
I mean, where the booths
Well,
are. Right?
Because his uncle, I thought, was like the maitre d' at that
They
time.
move the waiters around. So they don't always get the same table, but they move them around, which is a very, very good idea.
Good job, baby. Good job.
They
Well,
try-
we're at
some people who are.
I knew
don't
he'd eat
know-
it if I left it there.
Thank you.
some people who don't know the club and try to tip the waiters. That's a no-no. That's a no. No money passes hands.
I love that. That's why I like to get invited.
Well, what's the word of the day, gents? We're at the end of our
Friars.
Friars. Yeah, there's a good word. So our word of the day is Friars, to be related to the Friars Club of New York. Oh, that's gone.
But it used to be there, right?
Used to be there. Now it's Friars Club New York. Always has been, always will. Goodbye, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.